A chocolate bar, clean ingredients, smooth texture, sweet taste. It feels like a quick snack, a reward, a treat. But the moment you take a bite of Feastables, your body launches one of the most coordinated biological responses it performs every single day. This isn't just eating, it's chemistry, it's electrical signaling, it's hormone regulation, it's cellular energy engineering happening in real time. Let's go inside the human body and watch exactly what happens when you eat Feastables. Phase 1. Before the first bite. Digestion actually begins before the chocolate even touches your tongue. You see the wrapper. Your brain recognizes it. Memory activates. Inside your brain, the visual cortex processes the image. The limbic system connects it to past pleasure. The reward center, particularly the nucleus accumbens, begins releasing small amounts of dopamine. Anticipation has already begun. Your salivary glands activate. Enzymes prepare. Your stomach starts producing acid, all before the first bite. Phase 2. The moment it melts, now you take a bite. Feastables begins melting almost immediately due to body temperature and cocoa butter's melting point. On your tongue, thousands of taste buds come alive. Sweet receptors bind to dissolved sugar molecules. Fat receptors respond to cocoa butter. Aromatic compounds from cacao travel retronously to your olfactory system. Within milliseconds, electrical signals travel through cranial nerves to your brain. The gustatory cortex identifies sweetness. The orbitofrontal cortex evaluates pleasure. Dopamine increases again. You feel comfort, satisfaction, a small neurological reward. But while you enjoy the taste, biochemistry is already accelerating. Phase 3. Stomach processing. Feastables travels down your esophagus through rhythmic muscular waves called peristalsis. It reaches your stomach. Here, hydrochloric acid and digestive enzymes begin breaking down proteins and loosening the chocolate matrix. Cocoa butter starts separating. Sugar dissolves completely. But most nutrient absorption hasn't happened yet. That happens next. Phase 4. The small intestine. The real transformation. In the small intestine, digestion becomes precise and highly coordinated. The pancreas releases enzymes. The liver produces bile, stored in the gallbladder, to emulsify fats. Now things move fast. Sucrose splits into glucose and fructose. These simple sugars pass through intestinal cells into the bloodstream. Blood glucose levels rise, and your pancreas notices immediately. Phase 5. Insulin, the molecular key. Specialized cells in the pancreas, beta cells, release insulin. Insulin travels through the bloodstream and binds to receptors on muscle cells, liver cells, and fat cells. Think of insulin as a key. It unlocks cell membranes so glucose can enter. Inside muscle cells, glucose is either used immediately for energy or stored as glycogen. Inside the liver, excess glucose may also be stored as glycogen. If intake exceeds immediate need, some glucose can be converted into fat for long-term storage. All of this happens within minutes. Phase 6. Inside the cell, energy production. Let's zoom deeper. Inside a single muscle cell, glucose enters glycolysis, a series of chemical reactions that break it down into pyruvate. Pyruvate enters the mitochondria, the cell's power plant. The citric acid cycle begins. Electrons move along the electron transport chain. Protons flow across a membrane. ATP synthase spins like a microscopic turbine. ATP, adenosine triphosphate, is created. ATP powers muscle contraction, brain activity, heartbeats, cellular repair. Feastables has now become usable biological energy. Phase 7. The role of cocoa butter. Feastables isn't just sugar. It also contains fats, primarily cocoa butter. Fats digest more slowly than sugars. In the small intestine, bile breaks fats into smaller droplets. They are packaged into structures called chylomicrons. These travel through the lymphatic system before entering the bloodstream. Fats provide sustained energy. They also help with absorption of fat-soluble compounds. Because fats digest more slowly, they slightly moderate how quickly sugar enters the bloodstream. But total quantity still matters. Phase 8. Brain and mood effects. Cacao naturally contains compounds like theobromine. Theobromine mildly blocks adenosine receptors in the brain, reducing fatigue signals. It can gently increase alertness. It may improve cerebral blood flow. It contributes to that subtle lift in mood. Meanwhile, sweetness continues stimulating dopamine pathways. You may feel relaxed, comforted, slightly energized. But this effect is temporary because your body is always working to maintain balance. Phase 9. The blood sugar curve. If the sugar load is moderate, blood glucose rises smoothly and falls gradually. If the portion is large, glucose may spike higher. Insulin rises accordingly. Sometimes after a sharp spike, blood sugar can drop quickly. That drop may cause fatigue, irritability, hunger, hunger for more sugar. This is sometimes called a sugar crash. Your body is not malfunctioning. It's regulating. Phase 10. Antioxidant activity. Cacao contains polyphenols and flavonoids. These compounds act as antioxidants. Inside cells, reactive oxygen species, unstable molecules, are constantly formed during metabolism. Antioxidants help neutralize them. They may support vascular function. They may reduce mild oxidative stress. They may contribute to cellular protection. But benefits depend on portion size and overall diet quality. Feastables is not a medicine. It's a food. Context matters. Phase 11. What happens with overconsumption? Occasional consumption. Your body handles it efficiently. Repeated excessive intake. That's when strain begins. Frequent glucose spikes may increase insulin demand. Excess calories may accumulate as body fat. Over time, chronic imbalance can stress metabolic pathways. This doesn't happen overnight. It happens gradually. Biology always responds to patterns. Phase 12. Who processes it best? Highly active individuals can use quick carbohydrates efficiently. Athletes may benefit from glycogen replenishment after intense exercise. Growing adolescents with high metabolic demand may process moderate portions well. But individuals with insulin resistance or diabetes must monitor intake carefully. Sedentary individuals consuming excess calories without energy expenditure may experience weight gain over time. There is no single universal reaction. Metabolism is personal. Phase 13. The final perspective. So what is Feastables biologically speaking? It is rapid glucose delivery, lipid transport, hormonal signaling, dopamine activation, mitochondrial ATP production, antioxidant interaction, metabolic regulation, all unfolding inside your body within minutes. Your body is not passive. It is adaptive, precise, constantly balancing. Every bite triggers a cascade of microscopic events, electrical, chemical, hormonal. Whether those events support energy and balance or contribute to imbalance over time depends on quantity, frequency, activity level, and overall lifestyle. Because in human biology, it's not about fear, it's about balance, and your body is always working to maintain it.